my kitchen. Today I will be teaching you how to make a simple vinaigrette. In this case it's going to be a red wine vinaigrette because I am using red wine vinegar. In order to make this simple recipe you will need red wine vinegar or a vinegar of your choosing such as apple cider or white wine vinegar, a few cloves of garlic. I like garlic, so I'm going to add 3 to my dressing. Shallot, you shouldn't need the whole thing. Dijon mustard, any type of mustard will do, but Dijon gives you the most balanced flavor. And you will need a blender. In my case, I have an immersion blender. One other ingredient you might like to add is either honey or agave to sweeten your dressing. Alright, so let's wash our hands and I will meet you back here to start on our dressing. Now that we've washed our hands, we're ready to start our dressing. Our first step is to get our garlic, shallot, vinegar, mustard, and sweetener into our mixing bowl. So I'm going to start by peeling my 3 cloves of garlic. Don't have to cut them any smaller because they will be blended up. Let's talk about what a dressing is. A dressing is an emulsion, and what an emulsion is a big word for describing the blending of 2 liquids, vinegar and oil, that normally aren't able to be combined. Now, what allows us to do that is there's a chemical in mustard that really holds on to liquids and allows us to combine the oil and vinegar, which normally we wouldn't be able to do. So, when you're making a vinaigrette or an emulsion, mustard is a key ingredient. So next we will be getting our shallot into the bowl. Pretty big shallot here. So what I am going to do is take about 1/4 of it and add it to our mixing bowl. Cutting into a little bit smaller pieces for my blender to be able to handle. Once that's in, put the rest in the fridge and move on to our mustard, sweetener, and vinegar. Once our shallot and garlic are in the bowl, let's move on to our red wine vinegar. I am going to add 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar. for our Dijon. It's only 1 teaspoon. That right there was a perfect example of why we wash our hands before we cook. 'Cause no one likes a dirty finger in their salad dressing. For the sweetener, it's totally optional. If you want to add honey or agave, you can. I prefer a more tart dressing, and so does my wife, so I'm probably going to skip the sweetener for my own dressing. But you can make yours however you like. If you are going to add sweetener, I would suggest probably a teaspoon like the Dijon that we just added. Once that is all in the bowl, we are ready to combine our first set of ingredients. Once your shallot and garlic are blended up, the emulsion process has started with the mustard. And our next step is we're going to slowly add our oil while we are blending it. This will allow the oil to slowly combine with the vinegar thanks to our mustard that's already in there. I'm using canola oil. You can use olive oil, vegetable oil, whatever oil you have on hand. Apparently, literally. So let's begin combining the oil with the rest of our dressing. If you're using a blender and you have to have the top off, it's best to blend this on low because it's never a good day when you get vinegar in your eyes. Last but not least, we have to season our dressing. A lot of recipes you find online will give you amounts of salt and pepper to add to your dressing or whatever dish you're making. I find the best way to judge salt and pepper is to go by taste and go with what you feel tastes best. But remember with salt, always go a little bit at a time and taste rather than a whole lot, because again, you cannot take salt out of your dressing. So I like where my dressing is at, so I am all done. I'm just going to put it in a container so I can use it later. My dressing is on the shallot heavy side, so if you don't like that, maybe use a little bit less than what I have done here today. Other than that, all that's left is to pour this in a container, add it to your favorite salad, and enjoy it. Alright, so it's kind of hard to show you exactly how it came out, but this is my dressing. It's emulsified, but it's also still pretty runny. The more oil you add to it, the thicker it's going to become. So don't go too crazy with the oil. I'm just going to pour it into my container. And chill it, and it'll be ready for my salad I'm going to have for dinner. And there you have a very simple red wine vinaigrette to use with your favorite salad. Other ideas you can try is I always used to make a dressing with white wine vinegar, and I would reduce 2 cups of orange juice to 1 cup and make a vinaigrette using that. Pretty similar to what we just did, only adding the orange juice and maybe a little more oil to bring that emulsion together. But yeah, there you have it. Very simple dressing to make a very delicious meal. Be sure to tell someone you love them, and I'll see you next time in my kitchen.